talking about sensitivity, we're jumping to a sensitive topic that this is going to hurt the movie. But,
Oh
but,
yeah. Whew.
but
Jeez.
I will say someone left a comment in here that was pretty liked as far as the top comment. And
Hmm.
I want to have an interesting discussion with you about this as well as the
Hmm.
chat, guys. So if you guys didn't hear, Monster Hunter cancels Chinese premiere slammed by Chinese audiences for racial slur. So I will be reading something. If you know, I'm sure you guys remember this because I do remember this. I don't even know what you would call it, a phrase or a saying, when I was a little kid. So audiences cite one particular scene in which two soldiers in a jeep, the latter draws attention to his knees and asks, "What kind of knees are these?" Followed by Chinese. The pun has been widely interpreted amongst Chinese audiences as a reference to an offensive schoolyard rhyme. That's where I remember it from.
Hmm.
I won't read that.
Yeah.
But it's often accompanied by derogatory gestures. Um,
Right. Right. Right.
Now, before we discuss this,
Hmm.
I wanted to read one of these top comments because I didn't know when I heard this. I was like, "That's very bad taste." As far as especially since you've got Tony Jaa right there, man, as
Hmm.
like the
Hmm.
co-star. So someone put the character who said it was Chinese.
Hmm.
It's supposed to give off a sense of Chinese superiority. Even the Chinese translation means golden Chinese knee. Just some
Hmm.
context for y'all, it says. So what do you think of this in
Yeah.
general? I mean, as far as the writing goes, the context
Sure.
of it, and then it,
Mm.
it being premiered in China, man.
Mm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very interesting topic. So this goes into maybe the photo or the filing of like not judging a book by its cover outside of context. Again, as you just mentioned, how the framing of the actual phrase is, who it comes from in the film, where it's placed in the film and stuff like that is important. But of course, when you see that, the headline reads, it's obviously
It's a
a
headline,
slur
yeah.
that, yeah, it's a headline. So it speaks into a lot of things, social media. It speaks into, someone a little bit of the cancel culture. Literally, it got canceled in an entire country based on not even seeing that particular scene, just hearing, and again, it's derogatory. It's very offensive. So,
Yeah.
but again, it speaks to this culture of that we live in, that screeners and press screeners and early reactions and stuff getting out before the public can make a decision on their own. That this film is already now it's gonna have we talked about it months ago with Mulan, everything that went on off camera with the main lead and everything, the politics behind it. So it really kind of speaks into again a cancel culture that we're into, for better or for worse. But
Yeah.
this is really going to hurt the film now. So I don't know how they get out of the hole with this one outside of just completely taking the scene out entirely, which we've seen before. They've taken out scenes in movies before they hit release or after it's been out for many, many, many years. They take the scene out. So I don't know, man. This is a movie. First off, I don't care for this movie anyway,
I
but
think a
it
lot of people
does.
were saying that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but it does suck that it's kind of, it's obviously got this bad taste in people's mouths. So unfortunate for this film. It's supposed to go against Wonder Woman. This film is it was already going to bomb, but it's going to guaranteed to bomb now. So
Yeah, and you know what? I man, Mila Jovovich, man, this is gonna be her legacy as far as these types of movies. Video game movies is what it is. She
jeez,
was also
yeah.
in the reboot for Hellboy, that one with Rom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Rom.
Mm-hmm. She was the
But who?
David Harper.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. David Harper. Which I saw in theaters, and I actually
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed her role in it
He
because
has a devilish character.
yeah,
Yeah,
she does have a
Queen of
look where
Hell.
she like a queen, yeah, a witch or whatever
Yeah.
she is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. I mean, she's really trying to be this action star, right, with the whole Resident Evil and stuff like that, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I love that she's dedicated to going along with these pictures.
To garbage movies. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, which are considered garbage movies. She really wants to be an action star that bad, and I really think she fits that mold. It's just that these movies that she's getting are terrible.
Really
And then
bad,
on the
man.
on the flip side, we had talked about the cast before with like Ti and all these other bad actors, but Tony Jaa, he is someone that and he needs to get it together with his agent or something because he's
Yeah,
getting
these
older.
American films.
He's getting older, and as
Hmm.
we know, martial arts breaks down your body, man. You can
Yeah.
only last so long, right? Your knees give out. So I think he's one of our modern greats. I love his style of I believe it's Muay Thai kickboxing. Loved him in the Ong Bak series, all that whole
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
to see him when we saw him finally in like the Fast and the Furious, the one where he was fighting against what's his name, one that passed away. I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm so sorry.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker. I was like, wow, he finally made the crossover. You know, we're gonna see more of him, and we kind of didn't. So it sucks that he's involved with this, and then of course the headline. But does the context of it matter? And then going back to that whole, to me, this is bad writing for 2020. Yeah, we grew up with it, and
yeah.
This reminds me of, you remember Predator? How they were kind of speaking to each other. It's a bunch of men around. They're all like, you know, chewing. What's his name? Jesse the Body Ventura. I'm sure Rob remembers all this. You know, and they say a couple of lines that are obviously not politically correct, like in the chopper.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You can't say that stuff. I know those were the times, but now you have to be more sensitive.
Got to read the room.
You have to be smarter. You have to be smarter, and especially if you're gonna premiere this in another country, is that line gonna work? Like, you have to go back to the drawing board. Is this line gonna work? And for whatever reason, this director and the writers were like, yeah, I guess it could work, and it obviously didn't. So they weren't smart, I think, in that sense when it came to that. But I wanted to ask you, does the context that it was said by a Chinese man matter? I mean, does that give it less, I guess, meaning to kind of the racial slur that I remember kids saying it. I don't remember if I said it, but I remember kids chanting it on the playground.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, man. I mean, I'm just thinking of most recently with Lovecraft Country, with a lot of derogatory slurs. Obviously, the N word was used, you know, throughout various episodes. And, you know, context matters. Who is coming from, the weight of the context. Does it play into the story at all? You know, a line like this to me, again, I haven't seen the scene. It comes from but like, I guess to me, what I'm thinking just a screenwriter wise, like chop talk, like you just mentioned, locker room talk, whatever. Like, what does that do to the story? Like, yeah, sure, it's a phrase, a quote unquote reference, maybe in a joking sense of a matter of the scene. But it's just like you said, man, read the room. You know what time we're in. You know, test audience. I guess they said they test this out. So I guess, you know, that's the reason why you have test screenings. So maybe they'll take it out of the film. I don't know, but
I believe this is going to be left on the editing room floor. It has to be when it releases.
They have to take that out now. Yeah, but I mean, it's too little, too late, right? Or maybe China will reevaluate it and put it back in its slot of
with China. I think
films,
it might be, yeah.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate, man. But again, it's just got to be smarter. Again, you want to always give the creators and the writers the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, you got to know what your audience is, man. And we live in a very for better or for worse, we live in a very sensitive time right now where people speak up for themselves more. They have social media to kind of back them. They have groups of people that relate to them, and they don't want to stand for any more of the, you know, racial slurs and offensive stuff. Like I said, for better or for worse, that's the times that we're in, man.
Totally agree, man. Couldn't have said it better myself.